Well, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. And over the past 3 weeks, I did something really cool. But I got to see the Sam Raimi Spider-Man Trilogy in theaters, and my god, it was amazing. I talked about this trilogy so many times on my channel, but you guys know that this Spider-Man trilogy means so much to me, and it's really part of my childhood, and it's really the reason, one of the reasons that got me into movies was Spider-Man. I first saw Spider-Man when I was like 2-3 years old on this VHS, and then the DVD of Spider-Man 2, then eventually got the Blu-rays of all the trilogy, and then now eventually on 4K. But yeah, watching these movies for so many years, you just remember all the lines, especially the first movie and the third movie and the second movie as well. But I think the dialogue from the first and third are just so hilarious, and the second one as well, but the second one is definitely more emotional. I'll get into that later. But yeah, this whole re-release is happening because of the 100th anniversary of Columbia Pictures. But another reason why they're doing this is because Madam Web actually failed terribly at the box office, obviously, and I still haven't seen it. I don't think I'll ever watch it anyway. But yeah, because Madam Web did so terribly at the box office, they decided to release the entire Spider-Man franchise, from Tobey Maguire movies, Andrew Garfield, all the way to Tom Holland movies. They're re-releasing all 8 movies. Yeah, eight Spider-Man movies in total. But hey, I don't care, because this gives us an opportunity to actually finally see the Spider-Man trilogy for the first time in theaters, which I didn't have a chance to. Well, actually, I did get to see Spider-Man 3 in theaters in 2007, which was an experience which I'll get into later, but I never got to see the first 2 in theaters because I was obviously a bit too young. So basically the way I'm going to structure this video is I'm going to talk about like my experience with each of the movies in theaters, and then show you like audience reactions, because I did record some audience reactions, especially for the third one. So I get to show you that after I discuss like each movie. So when you first walk into the Spider-Man screening, and you sense a vibe. You sense a vibe that everybody is a fan of Spider-Man, because if nobody's a fan, they wouldn't actually be here, pay a ticket for this one night only showing of the first Spider-Man. So you get that vibe that everybody loves Spider-Man. Everybody is a fan of these movies. Everybody like grew up watching these movies. You could tell the age group of this was very much like 20s to 30 years old. Not much kids, not much like families, mostly just young adults. And a few people were also cosplaying as Spider-Man as well, which was really nice. But yeah, I just sat there and I couldn't believe what was happening. Like, I couldn't believe that I was actually finally getting a chance to see Spider-Man 1 in theaters. I've been so used to the way it looks on VHS, on DVD, in front of a TV, and now in my case in front of a projector, but in a theater, like, it really hits different, definitely. And so the lights close and the movie starts, and you hear that Danny Elfman theme song, and I immediately got chills. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I had a huge smile on my face, like the biggest smile I could ever think of. It's just so nostalgic, just hearing that Danny Elfman theme song, and especially hearing it for the first time. Well, yeah, I did see Spider-Man 3, but like seeing Spider-Man 1 like in theaters, it's just, it was magical. What a magical experience. And throughout the entire movie, there was just some incredible reactions. It was like watching a comedy movie, but in the best way possible, because of course we all grew up watching these movies, and it's been many years, of course. And of course the memes of Spider-Man all over the internet. Of course we're all used to the memes. So of course when the scene of when Norman Osborn says, I'm something of a scientist myself, like everybody cheered, everybody laughed, and it was amazing. And some people were saying the line before they happened, and myself included. I did the same thing, and we all had a good time. And I wish I could relive that experience. It was honestly amazing. So here are the clips of the audience reaction for the first Spider-Man.
So behave accordingly. Let's not have a repeat of our trip to the planetarium. Come on, people, let's stay together. Seat up the steps and into the building.
So much about you.
Great honor to meet you, sir.
Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. I'm something of a scientist myself.
Really. Go, Webb! Fly! Up and away, Webb! Shazam! Go!
So it's 1 week later, it's time for Spider-Man 2, and one thing that I realized about, like, before getting into Spider-Man 2 is that while I was watching Spider-Man 1, you know, it made me really excited to just watch Spider-Man 2 because I know what's coming. I know it's my favorite Spider-Man movie, and you know how good of a villain Doc Ock is. And, you know, I love Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, iconic as hell, but, you know, I just started remembering while watching the first movie, I was like, wow, I'm really pumped to see Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Like, I just can't wait. And it's actually really funny because every screening you actually get to see like the same crowd, like pretty much almost the same crowd. So, and you see some familiar faces. You're like, oh, hello again, hello again, hello again. And it brings back to what I said earlier. You can just tell, you get into this room and you know that everybody loves Spider-Man, and that's what's great about these screenings. Spider-Man 2 is a very funny movie, very campy as well, but I would say it's definitely the most emotional and serious Spider-Man out of the trilogy. And you could tell by the audience reaction, because in this movie you could tell, yeah, I didn't take out my phone to record some audience reactions to this one as much as the first movie. So you can tell by that, but that's nothing wrong with that. And especially during the scene when Peter confesses to Aunt May about how he blames himself for Uncle Ben's death, like the entire theater was just dead silent, and rightfully so. But yeah, as much fun as we have laughing at these movies because of how funny they are, it's actually really cool that we're all like so invested in Peter Parker's journey in this film. So here are some of the audience reactions to Spider-Man 2.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. Hi.
Hi. What's hi? Can I spend it?
I have a paycheck. I promise as soon as I
If
get...
promises were crackers, my daughter would be fat.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Dickovich. You know, all I got is this 20 for the rest of the week.
Sorry doesn't pay the rent. And don't try to sneak past me. I have ears like a cat and eyes like a rodent.
Thanks, Mr. Dickovich.
Hi, Pete.
In advance.
You serious? Hey, for what? Standing there? The planetarium tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. There's the door.
Nothing's worrying me. My back. Oh, my back.
Now, Spider-Man 3. Like, this has to be the best experience out of the three, and I'm sure you know why. And I'm gonna be honest here, but I've always loved Spider-Man 3. Now, Spider-Man 3 is the only one in the trilogy that I did get to see in theaters, and I remember that experience very well because it was the first ever movie where I went to the theater and it was just so full. Like, it was so packed as hell, and the only way that I could get a seat was to sit at the very front row. Literally the very, very, very front row, where my head has to be like tilted upwards like this during the entire movie. And it was painful, but hey, that's how I saw Spider-Man 3 for the first time. But yeah, I always loved this movie, and when social media, you know, got big and the internet, that's when like the internet told me that, you know, Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie, emo Parker is cringe, the dance scenes are so bad and stupid, like, and then I kind of got like influenced by those opinions, and it changed my view of the film and me saying the same things that the internet told me. And I realized that after rewatching this movie countless of times, I'm like, I cannot agree with what the internet is saying about Spider-Man 3, because I love this movie. Yes, I'm aware about the studio interference, but it's, you know, Sam Raimi did his best job despite the studio interference. and he still gave us a pretty damn good film. Not only is it a good film, but it's definitely the funniest out of the trilogy, and I had such a blast laughing so much at this movie. I recorded lots of audience reactions for this one, like a lot. There were even moments where I never laughed at that specific scene at home that I ended up laughing so much in the theater. And one of them is when Harry says, "My father, he died, right?" And then you have Peter's face and he's like, "Yeah." And then it's like in the original scene, like the scene where Peter says "yeah" is never cut after when Harry says that line, but when Harry has that little vision of whatever, they kind of edited those scenes together, and it's just so funny. And the scene that made me crack up so much that I never did laugh when watching it at home was when Peter is sitting on his bed and he's just like thinking about the symbiote. And there's something about that scene, the energy in that scene, you felt it with everybody, and there was something so funny about it. And once you heard that symbiote theme, it made it 10 times more funnier, and I was on the verge of tears because of how much I was laughing during that scene. This is definitely the movie where the entire audience, and myself included, we quoted the lines way more than the first two movies, like "see ya chump," "how's the pie so good," there's so many, "stings doesn't it," "strawberries." Oh, there's so many iconic lines in this one. But yes, here are some of the audience reactions from Spider-Man 3.
Hip, it's now. I came up with that one. It's wow, that's actually Erickson. He goes crazy. We gave him a couple lattes. It's like, and how? Me again.
Time to take your pill. Not that one. Not that one. Drink plenty of water.
Thank you. Continue.
The head, I'm as free as a bird.
Will you bump me on the head?
Wow. They love me. He's getting a shot of this. Parker.
That is what I said. Becker.
I have this ring.
Ah. Hello. Also, you want to pop the question? I love it. Romance. I am French.
How'd that get in there? Don't cry.
What I need to scoop Parker. Give me some of that web action.
See you, chump.
Then you say, you're a good woman, I'm a good man.
Hi, Pete.
Hi. He's calling a woman.
Are you calling Mary Jane? I think that would be so
It's
good.
none of your business. Go.
How's the pie?
So good.
That taste.
Strawberries.
I'm gonna kick your little ass.
Gonna cry? You're trash, bro. Your picture's a fake. I'd love to shoot you sometime.
Peter Parker. Peter.
Miss Brent, that's not the position I hired you for. I'll pay you the usual rate.
If you want the shots, get out. Now take off.
Woo!
So yeah, that's it guys, and I'm so grateful that I got a chance to relive the original Spider-Man trilogy in theaters. What a magical and fun experience that was. And next week I'm going to tackle The Amazing Spider-Man. Really excited for that because Tobey Spider-Man was like my childhood and Andrew Spider-Man was like in my high school era. So of course reliving The Amazing Spider-Man brings me back to those high school days, my teenage days. And yeah, I have some nostalgia for the Amazing Spider-Man movies as well. But yeah, did you go see the original Spider-Man trilogy in theaters? Let me know in the comments, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.